can you tell me?
In fact, that is nothing compared to his usual. If he samples you, you'll say, what is this? Oh, nanjye nkukoye.
Yeah, because
Are you serious? Oh, what is it? What is it? Tudde mu nnyumba ekyo ojja kumalako omusajja oyo.
let us just get started.
Huh?
We shall just explain to the people that we have lovely neighbors.
That is the man.
Mr. Majigo,
Yes, sir.
it seems you just love nature. It's like all the good things somehow gravitate towards you.
Oh, no.
Defend that.
Circumstances.
They gravitate towards the good circumstances.
They gravitate to all of us. Yeah. They gravitate to all of us. Sometimes it may be preference, what somebody likes, another doesn't like. So you'd say preference.
Preference,
Yes.
Are you sure you want to insist on that aspect?
Yep.
Or God has just been really good to you?
God has been good, that's for sure. And I think for other people, for what I'm grateful for is still way below what they want to do and achieve in life.
Is way below. You
Yeah.
have agreed.
No, what I'm saying, if they were to compare themselves to me,
Yes.
way below where they want to be.
Please defend that.
Yeah, because all of us pursue things we have, but in different directions, different dreams, And so some measure themselves by how far less they are from where they would want to be in comparison to other people. And maybe sometimes you can't run out from that. You say, but can't I? But at the end of the day, maybe it's also part of growing up. You learn to appreciate what has come your way. Do I still have dreams? Yes, I still have dreams. But probably now, much older, I see it in a different way. When I was young, when I would jump from one job to another. But now life takes a different turn when you realize that some things you thought are little, you begin to realize, man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
What are things that you're looking for that is ending? Something that you aspire to have, to achieve?
I think it's, I would say that I never thought what it would be like to be my age. I never thought what it would be like. Okay? You grow up, you start working. My mother is 93 years old. I don't know whether when she was in her 30s, she thought what 93 years, the age of 93 would be, okay? But she's there. But that transition of life, that's what sometimes makes you begin to maybe appreciate life in a different way. There are things that are still within your reach, and maybe there are some things you say
You let them pass.
Yeah, you let them pass. Yeah. Let them pass. It's not a rat race, as people say. It's a rat race, I think it has to do a lot with maybe one's personality. That's why he said my aspirations may not be the same as yours, but I'm happy where I am. Yeah, so I have a friend of mine. Yeah, he did architecture, and he went in the UK. He became a pastor there. Now, for some would say, "Wow, architecture! All of a sudden, you did out there. You should be building skyscrapers, maybe." But something just tugged his heart, and he became a pastor. Now, are his dreams too low? No, that's what he says is a thing he should focus on maybe at this time of his life. Yeah.
Do you have regrets?
I do have some regrets, like, I told the stories I went through when I left the job before I got another one. Sometimes you regret, you wish it didn't happen, but like I said, in God's mercies, like the Bible says, he makes everything good in the end. Somehow he works out of his grace. He makes things good for you, even in your mistakes that you make.
Does that happen to all people?
I guess it's all. There are some people who you rest in the fact that, okay, guys, I made a mistake here, but I thank God he helped me. Others say, I am going to work hard and recover and replace what you did not do. Maybe you can, it's all right, do it. But for some people, you let it pass and you go on with what is before you. You give it your best. You do some more consultation in the decisions that you make, but you don't. The past is gone. Are there some things I wish I had done better? Yes. But it's gone. I can't turn the clock back. But what I will do, the opportunities I get today, I'll give them my best.
Bataata, it is one of those evenings that are not very pompous, that are not very lifted, but they are. Not all the time life is hyped. Coming to see Mr. Majigo at this counseling center of his, where he journeyed with me and he allowed me to open my heart after the passing of my dad. I opened up and I had no clue what was happening within me. Opening up to a seasoned man with his wife seated there, and they just let me unburden myself to the point that I found myself even having dreams when I was probably getting freed from the baggage of questioning my dad's role. Did he do what he could, or did he abscond from extra responsibilities that has to do? So those questions that were lingering in my mind started fading away. This brings me back to the place of caution. How I thought when I was thinking about the regress, I think I've lost close to 12 years. And I cannot really account for it because of some of the decisions I made when I was younger. Thinking God, whom I thought was my father, didn't father me as he should have. He didn't protect me as he should have. He did not. Let me just be a little bit more. Let me give you some examples. He had granted me some land in Muyanga, and which I took possession of, which I was enjoying. I had a good organization that were running. It was doing good. It had some very nice donations. We had some partnerships. I think I'm one of the few people that I was asking him that seems only good things come to you, not to us. But during that time, if I should just encourage you, I was eating the best bread in the country. I had a partnership with Louis, can you imagine? And I was feeding probably about maybe about 100 so people. Um, so I didn't lack food. I didn't lack a place to live. I didn't lack work to do, meaningful work. Um, but over time, because of fears that were beginning to grow in me because of the other witchcraft, because of what so and so has said, it began to have impact on me. Now I'm giving you the story before him to let you see that even though I realized then that God had abandoned me when I didn't have a father, He protected me from the witchcraft. He constantly fed and provided. He constantly secured my premises. It is only I who made the decision to leave. So the thing of curses was not, it was not, it was a far-fetched thing. When his wife asked me a question, what do you fear? I wondered what she was asking. Um, that you constantly walk away from things. Now I'm saying this thing because there could be so many young Bataata alive, and you make certain decisions that are not seasoned, where you have not worked with some friends who have held you accountable, and who have not said, stay the ground, don't move. The curses won't affect you, for they won't. No witchcraft can be formed. Now, as I turn the questions around to him, he has benefited almost all his years because he was king. Now, I'm asking him some two final questions in regards to this because I found my footing and I found my footing and my journey with him for this purpose of Bataata. And my question goes with the aspect of creation. What we speak in sync with what we do has to be, for lack of another word, which you have told me earlier, it has to be somehow ordained by God. But let him explain to you what he has been telling me over the years, even this evening, before this interview. Please elucidate on that aspect. God guides us. There's a creation, there's a direction for us. The parting of that way, the burden that comes along is almost unbearable. No, have liberty to speak.
So you had earlier mentioned about speaking into your destiny.
Yes.
And these are things, such statements are beginning to become very common today in church. The challenge I find with them is God has already planned for you to come on earth. By the time you were born, Charles, He knew you.
Yeah.
He formed you in your mother's womb. Okay?
True.
For Jeremiah, even told him, I ordained you, okay, to be a prophet.
Yeah.
So for each of us, we did not even our parents went to God and said, give me this kind of child who's going to become this. They simply received. So that giver chose to give you to particular parents. He thought of that kind of person that you are. He had a plan. Now, because of man and what we are, sometimes that journey is not as smooth as sailing. However, at the end of the day, why do we think that by the time He brought us on this earth, He had no plan for us? So when we start saying, speak into our destiny, most times people are saying what they wish they should be. Okay? Are they saying, is this something that if God has spoken to them and said, you are to be this, and you speak into that destiny. But in most cases, let's face it, Charles, people are speaking what they wish they should be. Speak into my destiny that I may get a ticket to go to America. Speak into my destiny that I may become this and that. I don't think so. I think, if anything, we should be able to, you may have wishes, you may have things you want to, but you allow yourself what God has called you to do. And I'll put it simply. I'll simply ask Bataata here, or another people listening, have you been able to appreciate who you are, the gifts and talents?
Yes.
Or you have put them at the side and you're trying to achieve what Charles has achieved, what so and so has achieved. I think that when we talk about inspiring other people, some people feel they are inspired to be like the person who is either a motivation speaker or what. No. What we need to do is see the success that happens in people's lives and be able to say, Lord, in these giftings and abilities that you have given me, may I also succeed. May I also succeed. Because there you're working from something that is natural to you.
Yes.
Something that you have ability in.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? So usually, sometimes when I'm given career guidance to young people, I usually tell them three things: interest, what they're interested in, and then there should be evidence of it.
For example?
For example, you may want to be a singer, but is there evidence of your ability to sing? Are you in a choir? Are you in a band?
Oh, I think the evidence of the voice.
Because now we are trying to be practical. Because I told you
Yes.
the spiritual is also practical. So God has so there are giftings God has given you. Charles, I know you're a singer. You don't struggle. You don't struggle to get the guitar and sing. To play, I've seen you play the keyboard. I've seen you in fellowships when you just quickly pick up the key. Some people have to say, is it key A? I play, you know, for you listen and you pick. See? So I think we need to take note of the things that
Come natural.
and you have interest in them. But that interest must be backed by evidence. Don't be interested in something and there is no evidence. You don't have the voice. You can't pick a key when you are singing. Until they tell you start, you play A.
Don't lose hope.
Yeah, but others are learning and skilling, but sometimes you struggle. And then the other is, act on it. Test it and try it out. Test and try it out. But some people always live in the dream of wanting to be something. There's no bit of evidence that there is. And then
It's all about
no
speaking.
action. Yeah, just speak it. So you speak to be something. I think it's more than that. But you see, all the career guidance that we get usually is aim for these jobs where there's money. Aim. But there are some people who have succeeded. Some of the richest people around don't have PhDs or what. They've actually earned the title of professor or doctor by virtue of their achievements.
Achievements, yes.
But not that they
The
studied.
credibility is there. Yes.
Yeah. So they have found their area of strength and have been able to pursue it. And let's say that sometimes maybe that's where the people who are not Christian again are very practical. Okay, they know what they are good at, although some of them also keep chasing the dream, but they are practical. They know what they are good at and they throw themselves into it.
Fully.
Yeah. While others they just want to speak themselves into it.
I hear you.
And then there is also that humility to realize that there are some things that are not for you. For example, let me give an example of people well known. Sudhir, when it comes to business, real estate and what, is good. Okay, I don't know, there are many questions about he makes the money or what, but whatever way, he has been able to do things that we all see and wonder, okay? And wonder, okay? Did he learn that in school? Did he go to an architecture school and learn real estate? Did he go to a business school and learn? But he just threw himself into something and it grew. So rather than waste your time, get to this inspiration and say, where did this start from? So if I start also from where I am with my guitar and I'm good at it, can I compose a song? Can I create a band? Can we do this? And who knows where it's going to go? But I think many times we get distracted Because while we are focusing on this, we are looking aside, seeing somebody who, and then we want to copy them.
Destruction.
And yet it's, I like using the word, it's not your script. Let me put it this way. So we have a theater. Every morning you wake up, everybody is waking up to do different things. You're coming to the counseling office, somebody is going to a court, is a judge, somebody is a police officer, somebody is, the whole world gets into action. Right? Everybody. It's like we are on this, the world is like a theater where all of us are going and acting, the border man, the taxi man, the pilot, the politician, Everybody is going on this stage and playing some role in this society. And some are succeeding at what they are doing, some are not. Probably are they trying to copy somebody's script rather than stick to their script? So all I can say, may God give us the grace to be able to see our script, okay, and live up to it, and pursue it with all your heart. Don't get distracted from your script and try to compare. Can I be with so on? Why am I not like the other person? Because you start putting your energies in something whose energies you don't have, rather than putting it in the thing, energy that you have. Okay.
So you're being ordained, empowered.
Yeah. And let's say it's a passage of time to discover, to be able to discover where your abilities are. So for me, I usually tell people, whatever you have interest in, try it. But also learn to be realistic to yourself. Get to a point and say, but you know what? Yeah, I love it. But I love singing, but I can't hit the keys.
And it is okay.
And it's okay. And that's okay. Leave it for those who can hit those keys. But for you, you may be a good drummer. For you, you probably may actually end up being a good craftsman. For you, you may end up being a good interior designer. That's it, okay? Let people build, you design for them. Yeah. And grow, and you get to be known for that. But when you keep jumping from here and there, especially if you're moving from one to another thing and you're trying to test your different interests until you find, that's okay. But there's where you forget what your interest yours is. You want to be successful because somebody has done that. So that's why they say, maybe in Uganda, one of the greatest challenges we have is we copy. And it's coming from our tradition of how we are given career guidance. We are made to think that there are some professions that if you do them, you shall succeed. So what happens is that therefore we have a tendency to also now look around and see who is succeeding and want to copy. And you forget that you might be the next person.
In that field.
There's this famous story about two stories. At least one I'm sure of, the other I don't know, but it might be true. I think it is. So this young man, this family, they own Metroplex here in Nadia.
True story.
Yeah. They also own, I think, Metroplex, a building along the Entebbe Road, the Entebbe Road which is in Kampala. So the son of that man, he came and told the father that I want to start a mineral water bottle company. And the father said, in Uganda, people boil their water at home and drink. Why would they come and buy your water? The boy said, no, Daddy, I think it can work. I've seen it abroad because I said abroad, I think it can work. The mother said, I don't see any prospects there. In Uganda, getting from his pocket to buy water, which you can boil at his home and drink, and he comes and buys from you. Boy said, I'm going to give it a try. And he tried. Some hotels accepted because they would have people coming and wondering whether how our sanitation is. So they would buy some water from him and say, maybe for those people who come and who have asked for mineral water, but it was still a small market. But it was there, and then people would see water, buy water. It was a bit strange. But then, at the time he did that, there was the Goma crisis. And a lot of UN planes came. And one of the things they wanted was water for their people. And there he was. So, bought water, and these guys also would be the ones to go to our hotels. Sometimes they would spend a night in transit to I don't know where. So hotels now started buying water. And before we know, we had resort water. That's how it began.
That's the story.
So that's the thing. So sometimes there are ways you will charter some areas which people may not believe, but there's that strong conviction in you, and people question you. Give it a try. Some people succeed, others maybe it doesn't work. But for those who don't work, probably realize maybe it's not my thing. Then I'm also told that this thing now, which is very popular, mobile money. I'm told there's a young man who was in Airtel. That time I think it was it become Airtel, it was still Celltel, I don't know. But I think it was Celltel or so. Or Airtel maybe. Overread. But it was in that family of that company. But that gentleman, he was a young man, an engineer, and he was seeing all this texting and messaging, and he just went to his bosses and told them, I have an idea. I think we can do mobile money. We can this thing that we now know as mobile money. And I'm told his bosses said, no. Why? Phone for them at that time was for communication, or talk. Why? But he said, no, I think we can do that. He shared his idea. It wasn't bought. And I'm told he went and shared it with Safaricom.
It was a Ugandan thing.
I'm told it was a Ugandan, but it wasn't, the idea wasn't bought here, so he sold the same idea to Safaricom. And those guys found something that would work. Now, when Safaricom started, I think that guy who said M-Pesa or something, or it was M-Pesa, something like, I don't know, but it was that something like that. And now see, all of us are now transacting mobile money.
Actually global.
So, I don't know, maybe for some people, their thing will always be very unique. For others, it will be something like somebody else, but just have an edge. So, I think maybe one of the greatest challenges we have in Uganda is we are very fond of criticizing. It's not in our culture to praise.
To support.
We're not people who praise, encourage people. We're always on the other side criticizing and looking at what cannot be. And maybe some dreams have just died out like that. But we're like the Americans who have this culture of heroism. They always look for the next hero. And they will praise and talk about you like anything. That kind of environment encourages people. So, dreams die, and others succeed. But for us, ours is to know that we are not here by mistake. God suddenly brought us, He had a plan for us. And ours is simply to pray, God, may you reveal it to me. So whatever comes into us, give it your best, because you don't know. It is the one that will open a door for you, or it may be the path that will lead you to what you succeed in.
Thank you. As we close off now, but I'm going to start encouraging us to send in some comments, and we are going to start letting our numbers roll on the screen below, where you can ask a few questions. Some of you might just want to just come and touch base with this counseling couple. You might want to start hearing some of the things that we are planning for you, okay? But the thing that I wanted us to go off with to encourage you is we have learned so many things. Personally, one of the greatest challenges that I've had, which my father, before he passed on, son, he said, in whatever you do, start. We are hearing the encouragements and inspirations. Find a way of starting, and then you shall grow. The next aspect which I want to emphasize is the word I've just used, grow. Whatever step you take, however small it is, at least every day, like a friend of mine told me, is that build every day, at least put a brick on your house, on whatever you're building. But for you to be able to reach a place of self-sustenance or a place of honor, like they say, Rome wasn't built in one day. I encourage you, build. After you have had that word, that's not just, don't stop at creating or speaking, looking at the talents you have, find ways of translating them or crafting them into something that you can give, you can share, okay, and then grow it. I want to ask Mr. Majigo to close off with some counsel directly to you, especially if you are open. Just your final words of counsel or inspiration or rebuke. A rebuke that can wake someone, not you, but the other one, to wake up from slumber. Maybe they are so bogged down by issues of life. And then the others you can bless. Yeah.
Well, I would say, I think at the end of the day, we live in the faith that we are not on this earth by mistake. God had a reason why He brought us here, otherwise we shouldn't have been born. We should have died in our mother's womb, not even seen the light of day. But the fact that the hope we should always live with, that as long as you have life within you, it's a sign that it's not yet over.
It's not yet over.
So yours is to always be open and searching. Why am I alive today? What is it that God wants me to do? Not your own dreams, but already what God has set for you. And I believe that when we live in that openness, as we said, spiritual is truth and fact, I believe God will begin to show us why we're here today, what plans He has for us. Will the journey be easy? No. But we will learn and become stepwise. We'll begin to have maybe clearer vision. And also begin to be kind to ourselves, not too hard. Not too hard on ourselves. We are all on a journey.
Be nice to you. Thank you very much. Bataata, may God bless you. Remember to be present as a present. Number two, remember to grow. Don't abandon your fatherhood or your Bataatahood. Repeat after me, Bataatahood. Amen. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you too, Charles.
Yes.
God bless you. Charles.
Was it recording? I hope so.
This is what I tell you. In life, you now, like, you finish after recording.